You know, there are some things in this world that just don't seem possible. Buildings so perfectly engineered, so impossibly constructed, that even after 1,000 years, they leave us with more questions than answers. Today, we're going to dive into one of the greatest architectural puzzles of all time.
All right, so let's set the scene. We're going back over a millennium to ancient India. There's this incredibly powerful king, Rajaraja Chola I, and he has this vision, this absolutely epic idea to build something the world had never, ever seen before. Something that would last forever. But you gotta wonder, right? Was his goal just to build a huge, impressive temple? Or was he trying to create something so advanced, so ingenious, that people like you and me, 1,000 years in the future, would just look at it and wonder, how on earth did they do that? And yeah, that question, that's really what this is all about. It's the story of one king's seemingly impossible dream to carve his empire's genius directly into stone for all time. And the results of that dream? Well, here it is, the Brihadeeswarar Temple. People just call it the Big Temple, and for good reason. Built way back around 1010 AD, this thing became the absolute crown jewel of the mighty Chola Empire. It was a symbol of their power, their wealth, and their incredible ingenuity. Okay, so let's get into the first big mystery. And when I say big, I mean literally big. This is an engineering problem that still boggles the minds of experts today, a real head-scratcher.
First off, I need you to get a sense of this scale here. The main tower of the temple, it's called the Vimanana. It just soars into the sky. We're talking 66 meters high. To put that in perspective, that's like a modern 20-story building. But here's where it gets truly wild. Sitting at the very, very top of that tower is a single solid block of granite. And get this, it weighs 80 tons. 80. That's about the same as 12 adult elephants all stacked up.
So, yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How in the world did they do it? 1,000 years ago, with no cranes, no power tools, no modern machinery? How do you possibly get an 80-ton rock onto the roof of a 20-story tower and place it perfectly? While the most popular theory is just pure genius in its simplicity, historians think they built a gigantic earthen ramp, one that was 6 kilometers long with a really gentle slope. Then, using nothing but the raw power of elephants and hundreds, maybe thousands of workers, they slowly rolled that colossal stone all the way to the top. It's an incredible example of the Cholas' planning and, let's be honest, their unbelievable patience. But believe it or not, the mind-bending engineering doesn't stop there. Next up, we've got a mystery that's all about light, math, and a little bit of local legend. So for centuries, there was this belief, this story, that the temple's main tower cast no shadow at noon. People thought it was a miracle, but the reality is actually even more impressive. The Chola architects designed the tower with such perfect geometric precision that its shadow, well, it falls mostly back onto its own huge base. So it's not magic, it's just brilliant, brilliant math.
And that right there tells you everything. This wasn't just about stacking big rocks. The very existence of this temple is proof that the Cholas were absolute masters of complex geometry, astronomy, and engineering principles that were way, way ahead of their time.
Okay, so we've covered the insane construction, but the temple's genius goes deeper. It's also kind of like a giant library, a time capsule, with all its secrets carved right into the stone. I mean, the walls are just covered, and I mean covered, in thousands of inscriptions. And we're not just talking about prayers and hymns. No, this is the nitty-gritty stuff. We're talking detailed public records of everything from salaries for the temple dancers, to lists of jewelry donations, to official land deeds, and even records of the empire's military victories. It's basically a 1,000-year-old public database, etched in stone for everyone to see. And the craziest part? The temple is still giving up its secrets. Deep inside, hidden in its corridors, the Cholas painted these magnificent murals. But centuries later, they were plastered over by another dynasty. It wasn't until the 1900s that these hidden masterpieces were found again, giving us this incredible, direct look into the art and life of that long-lost era. So when you take the mind-blowing engineering, you add the incredible science, the hidden art, the public history, you put it all together, and what you get is something that truly, genuinely defeats time. Oh, and you can't talk about this place without talking about its guardian. Facing the temple is this massive statue of Nandi, the sacred bull.
And just like that stone at the very top of the tower, this 25-ton behemoth was carved from a single piece of rock. It just sits there, silent, powerful, and eternal, a symbol of the temple's unshakable strength.
You know, when you really look at all of this, you realize it's so much more than just an old building. It's a profound statement. It's a monument to the absolute peak of human ingenuity, our creativity, and of course, the incredible power of devotion.
Which kind of leaves us with this one last big thought. Empires, they rise and they fall. They all turn to dust eventually. But every now and then, people create something with so much genius and so much heart that it just seems to conquer time itself. And the Great Temple? It's definitely one of them. A 1,000-year-old puzzle that still leaves us in total awe